Remember, our practice is not just on our yoga mat. Our practice is as we move through our daily life. Or maybe with your yoga practice tools, you're learning to respond more than you react. Maybe you're learning more self-care. Maybe learning more of how to listen to your body. Let's just take one more full abdominal breath. Move your arms alongside your legs. You can have your palms facing upwards. And let's just turn the head slightly. So we're pushing our head into our yoga block. We're leaving any pressure on that right side or left side, whatever way you've gone. And then take a slow roll of the head in the opposite way. Pushing into the opposite side, finding that lovely pressure point that feels good. And to hold that neck stretch. And take that roll back to center. Let's remove our block from under our head. Resting the head down on the floor. Bring your legs together. Take a bend into the knees, feet together, and push your lower back into your mat. So sometimes you naturally get that dip. You want to push it down into your mat. Link your fingers, just place your hands underneath your head and rest your elbows on the floor. Let's cross the left leg over the right. Lift off the lower back and just shift a little to the left, and then drop the knees over to your right side. Now if it feels too strong, just uncross your legs. We're going to keep the head where it is, in that neutral position. And just finding that long breath again. Roll the legs back to center, uncrossing, shifting back to that center point, knees together. So we're not moving the upper body, we're going to cross the right leg over the left. We're going to pick up the glutes, shift a little to the right before we drop our knees over to our left side. And as you drop down, just see if you can keep your elbows on the floor. So you're not lifting the shoulders, there's no tension. Just see if you can peel them open. And in that breath, travel now up and down the spine. Remember, everything stems from our spine. It's the first thing that's formed. We want to keep our spine young and flexible. We're going to come back to center, uncrossing the legs, stepping the feet a little wider, removing the hands from under the head, arms alongside you. Once again, pushing the lower back into your yoga mat. Hands are going to stay where they are. We're going to push into our bridge and hold. Keep that chin tucked in, squeezing the glutes. Again, finding your long breath. Pushing the weight a little more maybe into the heels as you push up slightly further. And then as you exhale, just peel the spine back down. Taking your time. Let's draw both knees into the chest, squeeze them in. Drop the heels back to your yoga mat. We're going to pick up the left heel, place that heel on top of the right knee, and then draw just the right knee in. So squeezing in. Feeling that stretch into the left side of the body, the left glute, the hamstring. And every time you exhale, just see if you can squeeze in a little more. An area that can feel quite tight, particularly if we've been doing lots of walking or running or other forms of exercise. Keep the shoulders relaxed and the jaw. And let's release that right side. So we're going to do the same with the left, that right heel on top of the left knee. And then we draw that knee in. And if it's difficult to hold around the knee, we hold under the thigh. Keep the feet relaxed, there's no tension in the toes. And again, you're squeezing in as you exhale. Release. Take that last squeeze in of both knees. Give yourself a little roll side to side. So you can let yourself roll onto one side to slowly bring the body back up. So let's shift round onto hands and knees. I'm going to get you to tuck your toes and then just walk your hands to your knees so you're sitting on your heels. And another option here is you can bring your knees onto your yoga block. So we're just giving our toes a stretch. We never think about stretching our toes, pushing them into the mat, and maybe you can feel that they might be a little bit uncomfortable in this position. Think how many times we grip our toes when we're feeling tight or tense. We naturally grip our fingers and we grip our toes. So let's just see if we can hold for a few more breaths. Obviously, if it's really painful, then we come out sooner. And we'll take 2 more breaths. So just visualize sending the breath down into the toes. Taking 1 more breath. If you've used your block, you want to shift it away. We're going to come back into our table and obviously relax our toes now. Take your knees wide, big toes together, and let's sit back to our heels, dropping the forehead down. Reaching with those fingertips a little more, opening into the shoulders. We're not going to be here long. And then walk ourselves back into our table for our down dog. So when we come in from table, we should be in the right position. We just tuck our toes, we lift our knees, and we sit back towards our heels. So it's like a capital V shape. Pushing back into those heels, planting those hands down. And then let's walk towards our toes so our body just hangs down. We're going to hold our elbows And take a little roll side to side. Just letting the head hang. We're then going to walk down our mat all the way to plank pose. So our hands now are under our shoulders again. Our hips are flat. Holding in plank. We're going to drop our left knee, shift that foot a little to the side, and we're going to open with our right arm, stretching away from our mat. We're going to drop our right hand, pick up that left knee back to plank, and then drop your right knee, shift that foot a little to the side so it has your balance for you, and lift off that left arm. Feeling strength in the arms, feeling power. Dropping back into your plank. Either drop the knees or lower all the way down to your mat. Shift the elbows back under the shoulders into what we call Sphinx pose or baby cobra. We're pushing our hips into our mat. Our gaze is slightly forward. And we're going to take a turn of the head to the right shoulder. You can feel so much happening in the spine and the back with this gentle twist. We're going to turn and take that twist to the left shoulder. Feeling that into the neck, all the way down into the lower back. Coming back to centre. We're going to lower back to our mat, hands underneath our shoulders. We're going to push back up and head into our down dog. We might need to just shift our feet slightly forward. We're pushing back into our heels, arms along. Inhale through the nose and take a sigh out of the mouth, letting go of anything that's bothering you. Where we put our focus, our energy grows. We want to let go of anything negative, anything that's niggling, that's worrying. We don't want to give it any more of our time or our energy. Maybe another inhale and a sigh out of the mouth. We're going to start to walk to the top of our mats now. This time feet are coming together and we're folding over both legs. Let's inhale, come all the way up, palms come together, hands to our heart center. Let's inhale, breathe in, absorbing our new day ahead, and exhale, fold forwards. Long spine when you're ready. Let's step back, right foot, left foot into our plank. Take that lower down to your mat. Inhale into your cobra and exhale, down dog. Shift back that right foot into downward dog. We're going to inhale, squeeze that knee to the chest. We're going to exhale, send it long. Let's inhale it in. Exhale it long. One more to do. This time, let's step that foot forward. Maybe you're staying on your toes of your left foot. Maybe you're planting that foot down as you bring up the arms. So with the back foot down, it's our warrior one. When we stay on our toes, it's our high lunge. Reaching up the hands. We're going to inhale, we're going to reach forward, gather anything we need today, and we're going to exhale, pull the arms back. So it's an inhale, we're reaching forwards. It's an exhale, we're squeezing back. Let's take one more. Squeezing those elbows back. Let's frame that right foot. So we're going to step it straight back to our plank. Drop our left knee, toe a little out to the side as we bring up our right arm. We can always shift that right leg as well. Holding our plank, one more breath. Dropping that right foot down, dropping that right hand down, back into your plank. And then drop that right knee, maybe shift that foot a little as you bring up that left arm. Holding, maybe bringing up that left leg as well. It's normal to have wobbles and shakes. We get them in our day-to-day life, as well as our practice. Dropping back into your plank. Lowering all the way down to your mat, ready for your cobra. And peeling back into your down dog. Coming back to that inhale through the nose. Maybe that sigh out of the mouth, just let it go. Shift that left foot back, squeeze it back in our three-legged dog. Toes are pointing downwards. And then we're going to inhale, knee to chest. Exhale, long. Inhale, squeeze in. Exhale, long. Let's do one more. Exhale, that left leg long. Ready to step forward, top of the mat. You've got your options with your back leg. Bringing up the arms. So bending into that front knee, making sure it's not over the ankle. And then we're getting ready to inhale, reach forwards, weight towards that left leg. And exhale, squeezing back. So inhale, let's reach. Exhale, let's squeeze. One more to do. Squeeze those arms back. Let's frame that left foot. This time we're stepping forwards, back to the top of our mat, folding over the legs. We're going to bend into our chair pose, bring up our arms. Send the hands to the heart center. Take a twist to the right and hold here. So when you twist, try to keep the knees together. Naturally, one wants to go in front of the other, so we want to squeeze the knees together. Inhale back to center, and we're going to take that twist the opposite way. So shifting that right elbow towards your left knee. Inhale back to center. We're going to inhale all the way up, palms together, and exhale to our hearts. Take an inhale, reach all the way up, hold on to the left wrist, take a stretch over to the right. Using that exhalation to maybe go deeper. Come back to center, release the arms. Inhale, reach up, hold on to the right wrist, and take that stretch over to the left. Coming back to center, releasing the arms. Inhale, palms together. Exhale, fold over the toes, top of the mat, all the way down. Long spine when you're ready. Let's step back, right foot, drop the knee down into a low lunge, bringing up the arms. Let's frame that left foot and sit back to that right heel, so sending the left toes upwards. You can always grab your block for that left glute if you need it. And then you can fold towards that left leg, relaxing the head. Letting that left side go. Creating space in the body again. Creating space in the mind. I'm going to stay one more breath. Taking a walk back up if you went down, maybe moving your block if you had it in place. And then roll forward back into that low lunge. Bring up the arms. Framing that left foot, let's step it straight back to down dog. Take a walk, a pedal, whatever you need here. Send that right leg long, squeeze it back. And then inhale, knee to chest, send it long. Inhale, knee in, send it long. One more to do. Send that leg back. Squeeze that knee in, plant it down towards the hands. Shift that big toe side of the mat and walk that left leg back. Coming up onto your hands. Maybe kicking back and holding that left foot with your left hand. It's optional. If it doesn't feel okay, then we don't do it. Holding here. The other option is you can fold down into your pigeon pose. That feels better today. Maybe you're coming up and taking hold of the foot with both hands, peeling the shoulders back. So there's always options. Different versions to suit different days, depending how we feel. Releasing whatever version you've come into. And then push back into that down dog. Take that pedal, that walk, whatever you need. We're going to drop both knees towards the mat, and then we're going to push them back into that down dog. Dropping both knees down, pushing both legs back. Let's just do that once more. Pushing back. Take a walk, a step, a jump, top of the mat. Feet come back together and we fold. We inhale, we rise all of the way up. And we exhale back to our heart. Let's inhale, reach up, hold on to that left wrist with the right hand. Head over to the right. Coming back to center, release the arms. And once more, inhale, reach up, hold that right wrist. Head over to the left. Coming back to center, release the arms. Last time, inhale. And exhale, fold over those toes, top of the mat, if you're not already there. Taking another breath here. Inhale, long spine. Step that left leg back, drop the left knee down and come in to your low lunge. Bringing up the arms. Framing that foot, we're going to sit back towards the left heel, right toes are pointing up. Remember, we can always grab our block if that feels more comfortable and prop ourselves on our block. And then we're going to fold towards that right side. So keeping that right leg straight, keeping the toes pointing upwards. Just finding that point that feels good for us. Bringing the body back up. We're removing that block if you had it in place. We're going to roll back into our low lunge, bringing up the arms. And then framing our right foot, stepping it straight back to our down dog. Making any adjustments that we need, pushing back into those heels. We're going to send that left leg back, squeeze it back, ready to inhale, knee into the chest. Really squeeze your knee into your chest and then exhale it long. Inhale, squeeze that knee in. We want to engage our core. Exhale it back. One more to do. And then send that leg long. And then we're bringing that knee back in, dropping it down to our mat, big toe side of the mat, as we shift back into our right leg. Coming up onto our fingertips. We have that option of taking hold of that foot or staying exactly where we are. Or maybe folding into our pigeon pose. So there's always options. Heeling those shoulders back if you're taking hold of the foot. And then release that leg. Frame that knee. Step it back into your down dog. One last time. Pushing back into those heels. And then send the knees as wide as your mat, big toes together, and sit back into your child's pose. Releasing down to your mat. Maybe it's an inhale and a sigh out of the mouth. Walking the hands back up. Let's send the hands behind us, sitting back on the hands, draw the knees slightly closer together, squeeze the shoulders together and maybe push into your hips. Again, it's optional, you can keep the hips down if you prefer. Rolling back to your heels. Bring your knees together, grab your yoga block, just have it in front of you, doesn't matter which way. We're going to send the right hand behind us, tucking it between our shoulder blades if that's comfortable. If it's not, we're going to hold our elbows. And then we're going to send the left arm long, take it back to our right or grab our yoga belt or strap. Inhale into that right shoulder and maybe fold towards our block, dropping our forehead to our block. If that's not okay, you can always stay upright or you hold on to your elbows as you go forward. So a few options there. As always, we're listening and I can see everybody's doing their version that suits them, which is lovely to see. I'm going to hold for a few more breaths. Whatever version you're in, you want to come up or just release the arms. Just give the arms a shake. Let them go. And then we're going to do the same thing the other side. So it's our left arm that's going back. It's our right arm that's reaching up, coming to meet it. You have that option of elbows as well. If you're coming down, take an inhale and then fold forward on the exhale. Make sure you're still sitting back towards your heels as much as possible. Just keep the bottom low and not high. Again, we're just sending that breath to where it needs to go. Where is your body holding tension? Let's take one more breath. Coming up or releasing out. Let's just roll the shoulders back. And roll the shoulders forwards. And then we're going to come back into our table for a moment. So just come forwards. Step back into your plank. I promise, last one. And take a slow lower down to your yoga mat. Once there, relax your toes. Relax your arms for a moment. We're going to kick back, maybe take hold of our right foot, maybe take hold of both feet, left as well. We're going to inhale, start to bring the chin, the chest, the arms, and maybe the thighs off of your yoga mat in our Dharandasana bow pose. We can be down here as well, that's okay, we're still getting our thigh stretch. So do listen to the body. Wherever we're at, we're going to take 2 more breaths. If we pulled away from our mat, maybe seeing if we can come a little higher. 1 more breath. And as you exhale, release all of the way down to your mat. Let the body just rest for a moment. Turn the left ear onto your mat. The arms are alongside you. Breathing down the neck. And then just turn the right ear onto your mat. Breathing down the other side. We're going to take a roll onto our left side of our body. So we just want our elbow in line with our shoulder. We're going to bring our right foot down to the mat in front of us, and we're going to lift up our left leg. So we're really engaging that inner thigh. You can hold or you can pulse it a little if you prefer. If it's uncomfortable being on that elbow, you can always lie all the way down on your mat. Or maybe we're just squeezing and holding. And if you find it's uncomfortable on the hip, just put a small blanket there. Let's hold 2 more breaths. 1 more. Release down. Stack that right foot on top. And then bring in the knee and maybe hold on to the toe. If you're not holding the toe, it's the back of the leg, because we're going to send that leg up. So we're finding balance. Roll back onto that left hip. And then release all of the way back down. And just send the body left arm long, palms together for a moment. So you're stretching down the arms. Either roll onto your tummy to change sides, or come onto your right side, shifting over onto that right elbow. Legs along, we're on our right hip, and that left leg is just going to go over the right. Always be the knee down if that's easier. We're going to bring up that left leg, squeeze it up. Maybe it's a pulse, maybe it's a hold. You decide. Maybe it's a bit of both. Getting that inner leg working. Keeping that foot away from your yoga mat. Maybe it's a hold for the last few breaths. Really engaging that leg. Maybe it's a shake of that leg as those muscles work. One more breath. Let's see if we can hold it up. And then release that leg down. Let the legs come together. We're going to bend that knee. Maybe we're holding the back of the leg. Maybe we're holding the toe as we send that leg upwards. Make sure we're not opening. We want to roll back onto that hip, and it's the leg that's opening up. Holding there. We're going to release. We're going to let that right arm come down on our mat. Send the palms together. A little arm stretch. We've been working hard in our practice to support us. Let yourself come back up. We are going to bring the soles of the feet together, but away from our body. And if you want to, you can grab your block again, as you're going to come down towards the toes. Maybe your block is going to support your head. Maybe your block is going to be for your elbows, and you're going to rest your head in your hands. Feels quite nice putting the thumbs into that middle point in the eyebrows. Or maybe you're coming all the way down, holding the toes. So a few options, and as we hold, and as those muscles start to lengthen, you'll find you will naturally move deeper into the pose. Very slowly make your way back up. Send your legs wide. We're going to send our right hand behind us. So you're bringing your hand towards your left thigh. And you're going to reach your left arm down your leg. It might be the toes, might be the ankle. And then we're just going to turn our gaze upwards. So we want to peel open that right shoulder. So this is going to stop us from folding forwards because we're naturally peeling open. Maybe delving a little deeper as you exhale, taking care of that lower back, taking your time. And stay for 2 more breaths. Bring the body back up, release that arm, and then just take a walk forwards. Maybe your block comes back in for that head. Doesn't matter how low you go, the main thing is you're listening. Nobody should be forcing you into any poses, and this is good knowledge for any classes that you may go to. It's always your own body bringing you into the pose. The teacher is just your guide. So let's stay 2 more breaths. And then make your way back up. Move your block. We're going to tuck that left arm around our back. Doesn't matter where it gets to. We're going to reach down our right leg. Maybe it's the toe, maybe it's the shin. And we're just going to start to turn our body. So even if we're just here, we're getting a lot of movement. And here might be just enough for this side. Maybe that elbow's dropping down. So I know this side of my body is tighter, so I'm not going to go as deep on this side. I want to listen so there's no injury. The minute you start to feel the body tightening, like, oh, that feels uncomfortable, that's when you need to stop or ease out. Let your breath guide you. So as you exhale, let the body open then with the breath. We're going to stay for a few more breaths. Remember, we're turning that left shoulder open. Let's take one more breath. And then it's a slow, slow release out. Take a bend at the legs. We're going to hold on to our toes. Maybe we're going to take one leg out. We can play around, taking one at a time. Maybe we're going to take both legs out and try not to fall backwards. I definitely don't want to fall back into the flowers behind me. Engaging the core, spine is straight. Make sure you're not hunching your shoulders. If you're doing one leg at a time, then change legs. Good for balance. Obviously, we're opening into hips and groin. One more breath. And release. So come down onto your backs and have your block to hand. So lying down when you're ready, all the way onto your mat. Coming back, bending into the knees, planting the feet down. And we're going to squeeze our block with our knees. Arms are going to be alongside us, palms facing downwards. Make sure you're pushing that lower spine into your mat. That chin is tucked in. We're going to draw the knees in, squeezing our block. And then we're just going to gently tap the toes back to the mat. Just the toes. We're going to squeeze in. Keep tension in your block, so keep squeezing into your block. It's not a relaxed movement. And then maybe tap the toes. Again, roll the knees in, really squeeze that block. You might get some wobbling and shaking. And then tap the toes. Let's do 2 more. And on our last one, we're going to squeeze in. We're going to bring up the head. We're going to bring up the arms. We're going to hold, squeeze in the block in. And then we're going to send the toes towards the mat, but we're going to hover them. So we're not going to quite touch our mat with our toes. Our head is up, our arms are up. We can really feel everything engaging. It gets more challenging to talk. And we're just holding for a moment more. And then draw those knees back in and let the head come back to the mat. Remove your block. Send the heels up to the ceiling, arms back alongside you. You know what's coming next. We're going to do a double leg raise, dropping the heels towards the mat. Any lower back problems, you bend at the knees and then you send the legs long. Bringing up the head, bringing up the arms and holding. I know it's challenging. We are strengthening the core. We're strengthening our lower back. And we're engaging so many muscles. Let's take 2 more breaths. You can feel it's working for me. It's harder to talk. 1 more. And let everything go. Well done. Just find that long breath for a moment. When you're ready, take another bend back into the legs. Arms alongside you. Tuck that chin. We're going to push up into our regular bridge. And then we're going to come up onto our elbows as well. So you link your fingers and you tuck each shoulder into the mat. If it's not okay, you stay with the arms alongside you. Chin is tucked in. You can feel the breath and see the breath in the tummy as you inhale and exhale. Two more breaths. The arms come back alongside you, and then on your next exhalation, it's a slow, slow roll back to the mat. Squeeze the knees in. I'm going to give you 2 options here. You either play around in your happy baby pose, taking hold of the outer edge of the feet. That feels where you want to be today. Or you come into a shoulder stand. So shoulder stand, we support our back, we keep our knees bent in as we come into it, and we send our toes up to the ceiling. So you keep the knees bent as you walk your hands up your back. Once there, you send the legs upwards. When you come out, you keep the knees bent. You bring the hands back down and you lower your spine slowly. You keep your head on the mat and you bring the legs all the way down. So you are choosing what way you want to finish your practice today. Maybe it's your shoulder stand, maybe it's your happy baby. And we're just going to be here for a few moments. Maybe you might do both. Listening to your body and what it needs. Whatever version you've come into, you're going to slowly come back out. Well done. Draw those knees back into your chest. Let the arms move away from you. Let the knees fall over to the right side, taking that twist. Let the knees come back to center. Let them fall over to the left. Coming back to center, and then finding your Shavasana. Adjusting so you feel comfortable. Making sure you're warm. And just letting the eyes close. Letting the whole body just go. You're not holding anything. Body can just be heavy. There's no control of the breath. It's just coming in and releasing out. Maybe feeling that shift in energy since the start of your practice. Taking these last few moments for self-care. And each time that you come to your mat, you're topping up that self-care battery. And as you lie now in Shavasana, I'm going to go quiet, but just bring to mind your positive affirmation. Maybe repeating it silently to yourself. When you feel ready, bring some length back into the body. Maybe draw the knees in, giving yourself a squeeze or hug. Bring yourself slowly back to seated. Bring your hands to your heart center. Maybe just bowing the head. I'm just going to finish with a quote from a Chinese Buddhist monk who says, "Your practice should not be separated from your living, and living at all times should be one's practice." finish in Namaste. Namaste, everyone. Thank you.